All right, we'll call the meeting to order. I am your host.
Recording in progress.
Audrey does the important things, like speaks at inauguration and then lets me do this, so. How you doing? She did.
It was a really
She did a fantastic.
well thought out
Yeah.
speech.
She really did.
And I could see lots of heads going.
Yeah. We will start with reports from special guests. I see Haley's here. Haley, well, DR is here. Sorry, Haley. Hold on a second. DR, what do you want to report?
Hey.
I get a little
Just barely got here on time. Well, thank you. At another meeting. Okay, so I'll start off first by giving you a recruitment update, enrollment update. So total new freshman applicant numbers continue to remain up over last year, which is what we want to hear. From Kentucky students are up 4.42%. Illinois is up 5.38%. Out of state is up 20.83%. Those numbers are very, very, very good. International numbers continue to be down. Hope we can change some of that with some strategies that we have in place. But it's a tough market internationally. For example, in India, we get a lot of students from. They have issued 60% less visas. It's just more difficult to get the visas. There's a lot of factors there that we're working together. Anyway, and transfers down a little bit, just 14 applications, so really it's pretty flat. Domestic graduate is down 42 applications. But again, that's the transfer office and the domestic graduate office has some strategies in place to try to turn that around. Race relation orientation, which is important for fall 26. We have 1,600 students that have signed up for orientation. 1,506 first-time freshmen, 94 first-time transfers. That is both over fall of 25 and fall of 24. In fall of 24, was a record enrollment, so that's good. Some other statistics, here. So in talking with Dr. Pfister right now, the enrollment projection for fall for first-time freshmen is between 1,460 to 1,510, which would be a good freshman enrollment. So there's lots of indicators that she uses to kind of make that calculation. She'll have another report out on Friday, but this is the latest report. Fall 26 overall numbers, because right now, we're registering students for the fall, is even with where we were last year. At around, it's right at 4,400 students. And that campaign has just started the registration process, faculty advising. I've talked about our recapture campaign of students who haven't registered but qualified, follow up with those students. That is starting, so we feel good where we are for fall. We are down for summer by about 100 students. But we are aggressively marketing both summer and fall, working with branding, marketing, communication, certainly the enrollment office, and also student engagement and success office. So you see yard signs up everywhere, text messages are going out, email, social media. We're working to try to turn those summer numbers around. If students need to take classes, this may be a year where there's not that need. More important that fall enrollment looks better than summer. And from a scholarship standpoint, I'm not gonna say a lot about that, Wendy may want to, but one positive note is that all the presidential fellowships that were offered have been accepted. It's a significant group that they've done a great job. Go through the one over there. Okay, so that's enrollment. Any questions? Okay, so just some dates and things to keep in mind. This Saturday is all campus singing. It'll start at 2:00. This would have been a beautiful day for it. It may not be this beautiful on Saturday if you look at the weather, but you never know. If it rains, we'll just have to move into London and we'll make it. So we'll find out what happens. First orientation is on 21st. That's Tuesday, next Tuesday. That's the honors orientation. About 130 some students. Now, Tuesday is different because usually it's a weekend, like Friday, Saturday. This is something new. And we're finding that a lot of the really good students don't want to miss class. So they're going to come at other orientation sessions. So that's something we'll have to work out. It's not that they're not coming, they just don't want to just take a day out of one class. That's why they're honor students. So anyway, that's what Sean Smith is hearing. He talks. So, and we look at all this stuff. And then April 22nd, that's next Wednesday, is the senior graduation breakfast, 8:00 in the ballroom, first son. Another important program, because we got a wonderful debate team. And they've been the state champions for 2 years in a row. And so they're having what's called the Provost Debate, a mirror showcase, and I think that's what it is. Is it national? Okay, it's not just state, it's national. So when it's going to be on the 23rd, what is the time? You know, anyway, it's probably 6 or 7 o'clock. But go out and support them, because that would be a lot of fun. And then April 24th, we have our Academic Excellence and Leadership Awards that is sponsored by Dr. Carthel's office. And that starts at 6 o'clock in the Career Center, and that's an important condition also. A lot of things are happening, a lot of good things, a lot of good news. And any questions? Also, yellow bags continue to be on campus. Please stop and say hello. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, folks.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Budget. That is almost full time. Yes. But I did want to participate. I did want to mention 2 upcoming town halls, stealing a little bit of Haley's thunder likely. There's going to be an ORP and 403B improvements town hall on April 22nd to talk about some important changes in that area. I know David is on that committee. Who else in here is on that committee? Yeah. So I hope you're able to join us for that and hear more from Pat Trust that'll be here to talk about what those changes are. The changes are all guided by making your investments stronger. This is not about Murray State win. This is about if you have a portfolio with one of those vendors, this is about your win and what you're being charged behind the scenes and how we're working to reduce that so that your retirement will be more lucrative. Those for people who are in the ORP retirement plan or have money in the 403B. The second thing is there will be a budget town hall on April 20th. So that time is 2:30 to 4 o'clock. And it will be at Rather. So how is the new change in procurement limits? Does anyone have feedback on how that's going in your area?
People are very excited about it. Yes, you're like, no.
Okay, just let me know if you experience pain points. Change is not always fun.
Can I ask also,
Yes.
if somebody, how would you like this to work? If somebody has a concern or they're like want to promote a change to happen, how would you like that to be moved forward? Like,
Yeah, they can send it to me or to Sharon and we'll do it accordingly. Now, what I will say is the changes that we're working on now are changes that are gonna help my staff prepare to make bigger and better changes. So, imaging attached to invoice is something that I'm very hopeful for. There's a whole crazy process around that I'm hoping that we can automate that process. We're looking at some things that come delivered with our HR vendor and some of their software options. And if we can squeeze the money out to do some of those things, that would come delivered and ready if we could. We're looking at DocuSign, that would be for like personnel service contracts would be the primary use of that. We're also looking at things like dynamic forms, hoping that we'll eventually get to the point where maybe some of Haley's HR forms that can't be fully automated would route that way. So she and I have been talking some, and I will ask your feedback on this, about the value of right now, we route a piece of paper before we put things up to be approved to post for positions. Yes? Who's familiar with this process? Okay. So what if we dreamed a different dream and we decided to stop the madness? And you would email HR and say, hey, we'd like to post it, and then it would route from there. How disruptive would that be to your process? Would there be anything that would be a pain point there that we're not thinking about? The worst thing I can see is that someone really, like somebody up above didn't want it posted and would reject it as it went through the electronic change. But hopefully people are already managing up and talking to supervisors about, you know, what they're wanting to do before they do it. That's like, for me, the only negative in the dream space for that one. So those are some of the processes that are on the potential coming soon list, and that one may be easier to do than some of the others. So yes, send me ideas. Sometimes I have to organize things in our area, get some work off
sure,
before we can
yeah.
make the next
But
round.
that's what I didn't want, you know, we didn't want anybody to just put a bunch of stuff on you, you know, people had some ideas that they were, you know, and then
Yeah,
the
so
good thing is when you're starting to make changes, people get excited, they're like, okay, maybe we need to do this.
it's like an onion, right?
Yeah.
You got this concern, and then once that concern's back, there's another layer, and you gotta peel that layer, and then there's another layer, and I totally appreciate that. Right now, I probably have more ideas than staff availability to deliver, but you will continue to see those things roll out as quickly as we can get things in place and get them rolled out. If you could pick one.
DocuSign.
Yeah, I think so, I think
For
so.
personal services
I
contract.
think that is, that's just,
anything with any kind of forms.
yeah, that like 14 people touch, there's no reason that many people.
So DocuSign, we have
That
to
would be
pay
easy.
per envelope, so some of it may go to DocuSign. The dynamic forms, we may be able to do some of that kind of
Mhm.
rounding, some that's
Yes.
also already owned, but we just need a small upgrade. So it may not all come through that way, but the paper will eventually go away, because my desk is about this deep and I don't want it to do that. There's so much paper.
Yeah,
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of things that we are physically signing that don't necessarily require a signature. That's just how we verify, right?
Yeah,
Because
so
there's only a few people in the university that are technically,
that have to sign, that
Right.
have the signature
Signature, yeah,
authority.
authority,
Yeah, so, in my humble opinion, we do a few things with the routing and signing. The one thing is there's some kind of a false sense of control that by me knowing that it's gonna get signed, that somebody's gonna make a different decision. I don't see a lot of that. I don't see a lot of things that are being returned and not signed. You may be seeing more of that at your level than I'm seeing. But it looks like a lot of those signatures are more profound than decision boards. So the second thing is we don't have really robust reporting. And so in some situations, people want to know things are going on, and the only way they can know things are going on is by receiving that piece of paper. They're using that like a report
Right.
to say, oh, we have one of these. And I think the third thing is it's painful to dream new dreams. And yeah, so I think those are kind of the three reasons why it's still there. Yeah, but a lot of it is around that. How will I know if I don't see that piece of paper? But when you automate things, then you don't have to see that piece of paper. And I don't just take routing out for the sake of taking routing out. I'm always going to ask my questions, and by now you know what they are. How does this add value to the process? Do you say no? Is there a reason you need to see this? Can we look at this in a different way, or does it need to be on the paper? And those conversations take time.
Yeah.
Right now it's budget.
Budget.
So from now to the end of April, you may not see much new. Hopefully in May, we can give you something else.
Are you suggesting that the regular PAs may go electronic?
Yeah, so the plan there may be some
Well, especially
things.
somebody off campus, it really is a hardship.
Yeah, so there may be some things that we can do electronically through our existing system. We're exploring, right? Some of those that we talked about, Haley, if we could get the upgrade, some of those would be in that upgrade package, and they would go away as a form altogether, and they would live in the ERP where they're supposed, in the people admin. Am I speaking with the right dialect?
It would be through Banner, kind of what we had talked about. But
Banner.
yeah, just exploring some opportunities and challenges with that. Yep.
And if that is not the right solution, the other solution might be something like the dynamic forms, where it can still make its way around, but it's doing so sequentially and electronically. If sequence doesn't matter, Google Forms are really nice, but their approval process is, it's like a spider web. It's boom, everybody's got to approve it. Whereas the dynamic forms is now, if you approve it, now Deidre approves it, now it goes here, now it goes here. So that by the time I see it, I know that the people, for instance, if it's an IT product, I would know that the IT team has already looked at it. Or if it was a plant team, I would know that somebody in Jason's shop had already looked at all that at it. So that I don't have to become an IT expert and plant expert and,
Your time is better used doing other things, budgets.
Budget. So yeah, those are ideal. Anything we're currently, I think invoice may be the most broken process. If I had to pick one, I really don't like how that's flowing today. The personal action forms would be on that short list. And then there are some things we do in Banner with the BTRs and some we don't do.
Yeah.
And so there's some more exploration for me to understand why we do some things one way, why we do others another. So probably from now till the end of April, your answer is going to be thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing this information. And it's going to get pinned to May. But starting in May, I hope that we can take some more looks and make some more differences. And I appreciate the ideas. We go down this level. Anything on paper is there. I don't know. Do y'all get the yellow, red, and green folders? That one's on the list. If they do not, okay. Yeah. I get stacks of vinyl color coded folders, but apparently that's just me. Okay, all right. Yeah, so I'll be happy to see those. Yeah, go on their merry way, as well. Any other questions or anything you want me when I come next month to touch on other than budget?
It's important.
Yeah, it's all consuming to get up to speed. So, I'm diving in. We appreciate, yes, we appreciate you. Thank you, I appreciate you. Send the info. I'll send you a nice note back saying thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Everybody wait till May.
Yeah, tell them yes till May. That would be very kind to me. They don't have to be kind to me, but I would love it if they would be kind to me until May.
Good way.
All right, if you can, one more month, okay? So, thank you very much. I appreciate all that you're doing. You saw, we also stopped the madness with the fines for not getting your timesheets on time. Please, talk to your colleagues though about still getting them done so that they can be paid and we can be compliant. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You don't get that?
You have something for us? No? Okay. Haley? Yeah.
Unmute.
Mute here. There we go. All right, thank you. Sorry I couldn't be there in person, but appreciate the opportunity to attend virtually. So just wanted to share a few items with you all. Dr. Foltz mentioned there was communication that went out this morning on the retirement, the ORP and 403B improvements that are coming. So we do have a town hall that will be next Wednesday at 10:30, hopefully after student breakfast and all of that. So we do encourage anybody is welcome to attend. Folks who are part of the ORP program or who have 403B plans would certainly encourage you to attend. We will be streaming that as well, so you're welcome to attend virtually. And we will be, as she mentioned, Cap Trust, our representative from Cap Trust will be there to speak with everybody about what those changes are. I brought Marcy with me. Marcy, I don't know if you want to share a little bit more just about kind of what that looks like. And it is, kind of overviewed in that email we sent out this morning.
Right. Thank you, Haley, and good afternoon, everyone. So we are, as Dr. Foltz and Haley mentioned, having the town hall so that we can highlight what the changes are. These are going to be effective in the fall. So this is like a high-level overview so that you're getting familiar with the idea. It gives you time to ask questions, but just wanted to reiterate that this is not effective until October 1st. And so as Haley mentioned, and we do welcome everyone to attend or to attend virtually, but especially our folks who are in an ORP for their mandatory retirement, or if you are participating in a supplemental retirement. So for our folks who are in our two pension systems, TRS or KPPA, this could affect you if you are doing a supplemental retirement plan in addition. So high level, as our email, if you've had a chance to review it, is mentioning working with Cap Trust. We are reducing our vendors down, we're streamlining, and that's allowing us to be able to offer, for the companies to be able to offer better investments, reduce fees for participants. As Dr. Foltz mentioned, this is absolutely coming from a place for the benefit of the participant, Murray State. This is not a benefit for us other than knowing we're doing the right thing for improving these retirement plans for our faculty and staff. So again, just want to emphasize taking advantage of the town hall. We will in the coming days be having an article on knowledge base that will have more info. So let us know if you have questions, and we're happy to talk about it. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Marcy, for that overview. Any questions from anybody on that topic while we're on it? Now, it's a lot of information will be presented and shared. And again, just an opportunity for folks to get familiar with that, with those changes before they go into effect. So definitely welcome questions as you or others may have them. Please reach out to us. Okay, so a few other things to mention. We have had our third walking group for April. It was this afternoon. We have 2 more since we do have 5 Wednesdays in the month. So on April 22nd, April 29th, will be opportunities for you to engage in the walking group that meets at the gates at the corner of 15th and Olive. They do count as race or wellness activities, so would encourage you to do that. We've had, fortunately, very beautiful weather for our walking groups, which doesn't always happen. It seems like it always rains 1 or 2 or 3 of those times. So please take advantage of those. It's a great opportunity to get out and get some fresh air and to get your wellness credit. We had a lunch and learn this afternoon on menopause with Hinge Health and some of the resources they provide. It was a great session, well attended. We do have May 13th, everybody's favorite event, I believe. I think it's safe to say, the gardening activities with Alex Schultz at the Arboretum. So that information, those signups will be coming out. They haven't gone out yet, so you've not missed that. But please be looking for that if it's something you want to attend. We do have kind of limited space just because we want to make sure we have materials and all that for those participants. So when that sign up comes out and you want to be a part of that, please be sure to get your name in there early so you can be part of that activity, because it is a great one. Wanted to mention also, Dr. Foltz had kind of shared, we are looking at, continuously looking at ways for efficiencies and are looking, at our search processes, a way to be more efficient, possibly reduce some paper forms in that process. So as we are working through those steps, we're going to be communicating with some of the folks that are directly impacted, that will be part of the process that will shift away from paper and go more into the people admin system. As she mentioned, maybe an email for the request to fill instead of the paper form routing. So more information to come on that. And there would certainly be, communication to campus if when there are changes, hopefully soon. So we are navigating that and look forward to just finding ways to be more efficient with everybody's time and energy. All right. Well, those are the items I had to share. Are there any questions on those topics or anything else from the group that we can help answer? Okay. Don't see any hands or hear anything. Well, again, appreciate the opportunity to attend virtually. And as always, feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns or anything we can help address.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Regent, Dr. Regent.
Dr. Stanley.
Housing.
Doctor. A couple things. I just want to say, for what you got participating in, I think the investiture committee did an awesome job. I think the activities on Monday involving the students was really a good part, because in the past, usually it's just going to be the high level things went on, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about the scavenger hunt with the cookout and with the ice cream social, and even heard kids saying, are we going to do this more often? So we might see Jeannie out there making ice cream, just doing it, but I think it was not the investiture, but the ice cream part. But I thought that really well, and I will reiterate what was said earlier. I really think all the speakers did a great job, and Audrey did a really good job representing staff Congress. Bordieri did a great job representing the faculty. I think they all did well, but it was just a really class. And then for those who didn't, they had the gala that night went to, and they spoke about Dr. Patterson and Jeannie starting scholarship for first gen students. So last night they raised $45,000 to go into that scholarship, which will endow it, which will make it so. I thought that was really it was really positive. And I talked to her afterwards for a minute, and she was about to cry. You could tell just because of the generosity of the people in that room that participated. So that was awesome. So just want to give a plug. And I told Audrey yesterday, I talked to her, but she did awesome. Couple other things. On the 22nd in the morning, after you do senior breakfast at 2:00 is groundbreaking for the new veterinary sciences building out at West Farm. So that will be going on. That's exciting. Also, we'll have on the 25th will be our next full summer O. It will be going on. And so there's about 343 kids that are signed up for that. So they'll be all over campus. Most of it's going to be in the Curris Center this time, and then it will transition out to Lubbock, I think, in the future. But some of this stuff, that's something to just be thinking about and be prepared for. And then you had mentioned on the something you wouldn't know about, but you'll see on the 3rd of May will be the students, one of the students' favorite events is Almost Midnight Breakfast. If you haven't ever done it and haven't seen it, they will flood Winslow cafeteria to get free pancakes, bacon, eggs. I have been there, and Dr. Robertson can attest, I have been there before when we were under tornado warnings, and kids were still coming across to get into Winslow to get eggs and bacon. And they were like, and I saw one coming and his umbrella was torn up. He was carrying it, didn't help, but wanted to get in to get some free. And Dr. Robertson had them all in the back of the kitchen. And he was back there, and the dining services people were nervous because he was just giving stuff away to people. I think whatever he could find, he was doing something to keep them happy. But the kids love doing that, and they will come out. It will start about 9, I believe, 9, and it goes to about 10, 10:30. So they fill it up. So that's really good. We also had the special board meeting. I hope you got to listen to some of that and hear that. So that went on. June will be our next. I think June 12th is going to be the next regular board meeting that we'll have. So yeah, and you know, then as you all know, 8th and 9th, it's graduation is coming up, and be just an opportunity to see kids walk across stage. Again, I will say it, I'll always say it. Some people say I'm sort of hokey, but I do appreciate what everybody in this room and every staff member does on this campus to help kids get to the point of graduation. There's a lot of kids that would never graduate if not for help from a staff member in this room, just being there, just talking to them. So really look forward to that. I really think that's an awesome event. I did last night, I will tell you, yesterday I took, as you know, I'll talk about it. I've got married, yes, blah, 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 but my wife retired from Austin Peay, and she was just like, this was the most classy event I think I've ever seen. With the day and that night, she was just, it was amazing what y'all do with stuff. So I said, well, yeah, because we're not Austin Peay. And that was a positive. So, but thank you for all that you guys do. If you have any questions, I do also think, make sure we have a budget advisory committee up on the 27th that afternoon. So that will be coming up. And Orville will tell you, we also, I think this Friday have another benefits.
Yes, we do.
So it's a very exciting time. If you want to come on and just listen, do it. Thank you.
Before you sit down, I just wanted to say thank you for speaking about the working. You know, we don't see like things behind closed doors and things of that nature. And so like right there, we have to get the opportunity to see you just kind of speak up for the staff members. So we're
Very great.
Yeah, you
Thank
very
you
for
for
doing that.
Yeah, but even I got a couple of faculty
Yeah.
and people, the mayor stopped me last night and said, thank you for speaking up about what they want to try to develop. And a couple of others, so I appreciate that. No, I feel like that's my responsibility. You know, and if I didn't do that, well, if I didn't do it, then I wouldn't be doing my job. So thank you.
We did not go on up.
I do take donations if you'd like to. Gotta pay for some stuff in my house. I'm sure I'm fortunate with that.
He'll take it.
Would Barbie help?
Berlin always says that.
All right.
Birthday candy will help.
Got you.
Well, I'm on a diet, so to speak, so I can't have candy, but I do smell it. Oh, a bag of greasy cup.
Yeah.
Awesome. Get a fix, baby. Thank you.
Oh, after that. Move on to the approval of minutes for March 25th. Everyone had a chance to review those. Discussion? I hear a motion.
Second.
It has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Move on to the approval of treasurer's report. Do you have anything other than approval?
And all I'll say is, we did have a textbook scholarship for this semester that's been issued, so, you know, doing good things.
All right, we will seek approval for the February and March 26 treasurer's report.
I'll make the motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. On the standing committee reports, the executive committee had met, and I will bring forward or ask for a motion for an ad hoc committee to be created. We'll do that in new business. Did anybody have anything else from the meeting?
No,
No.
it's just fun times,
All right,
great elders.
move on to credentials and elections.
Well, we've finished up our voter, or actually our candidate volunteer part of the thing. We did not have anyone to volunteer to run in the presidential category, so that will be a write-in. So one of the, I've had one or two people email me, what can we do? Well, the reality is you can find the people in that organizational part of the chart, which would be athletics, which would be digital media, which would be branding, marketing, which would be the auditor's office, and several of the other ones. General counsel, which that would be fun to see from general counsel run for staff Congress, but you can wind up, those are the folks that, in all seriousness, development's also another one. Those are areas where that if you know somebody, you might just encourage them to write their name in. And if we get a bunch of people to write their names in, well, since we have no write-in no write-in capabilities in this election cycle for any of the other positions, those people will be able, if we get 10 of them to write their names in, there's a good chance that a whole lot of those folks may wind up with the staff Congress before it's all over with. But we do have several people that are running for re-election. We have several that are running for the first time. Jerry and Harris and Dana Hutchinson are running for re-election. Jill Smith is hoping also to get elected in the academic affairs category in finance and administrative services. Jessica Cook and Taylor Snell are running for the first time, and Dwayne's running for re-election. So student affairs and enrollment management, on the one for academic and the one for finance and administrative services, those two the two top vote getters in each of those categories will come on to staff Congress. In student affairs, the top vote getter, and Jordan Garner is running for that opening, or running for that position, and Audrey's running for re-election for that one. BBC, Lisa is retiring, so on this one, Julianne McLean is running for that position. At large, we will be electing 3 candidates, and these 5 people will be running for those 3 spots. Johnny Anthony, Megan Bronner, and Angie McCord, all first time, and then Bobby Kohler and Casey are running for re-election. So good luck to everyone. The election will be next Tuesday and Wednesday on VoteNet, which you can get to that via MyGate. And on that particular one, the online voting begins at 12:01 a.m. and it ends at 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday. So everybody go out and vote. One thing I suggest to people to do, there's always, and I'm one of the people that waits around intentionally till the last until the end of the voting thing, or within a few hours of it. So if somebody calls and they've got an issue, that I can pull up VoteNet and I can actually see the ballot, and maybe not see their particular one, but I can at least walk them through, well, look at this spot or whatever. But the reality is you need to make sure you don't wait till the last minute, because people sometimes gets into this thing and they get busy then on that Wednesday night, and then suddenly they realize it's Thursday morning and it's 12:01 a.m. and suddenly they cannot vote. And on all of these races, with the exception of the BBC one and with the exception of the presidential one, all of these are contested races. So somebody's going to win and There'll be some people that will not. And so, everybody needs to vote, just go and vote, when the polls open on Tuesday, go and vote. And then you don't have to worry about, time getting away from you on, Wednesday night. Any questions?
Thank you, Raul. Staff Special Events and Recognition Committee. Okay. No report from communications, working conditions. Staff survey.
No report at this time.
On roll. Scholarship Committee.
Nothing new to report at this time.
Personnel policies and benefits.
A report.
Okay, so after the last staff congress meeting, our committee met and we discussed next steps. Now that we've had, we're submitting a new resolution to the Board of Regents regarding the change in requesting a change in the policy. So we contacted Dedrick. Now Dedrick has been swamped. But we contacted Dedrick and we're gonna try to do a really short survey, and this is one of those things where, we've all talked about, having the mechanism to do, something really quick, and that's, topics specific. So this would be one of those things, and one of the questions that we would ask is, if they can give us maybe some anecdotal information about whether they've used tuition waivers either for themselves or and what kind of impact that had, because, data is great, but we also need to have those real life stories. So that's kind of our next step. If we can get that, and I know you're under the gun, but, we're hoping to try to get that out maybe before everybody leaves for the summer. And that way we can kind of get some feedback and be able to work on devising our next steps to suggesting making some proposals to change the policy.
Questions for Tricia? Okay, community involvement and access. Kristen's out. I already sent this note. This committee and communications have started promoting the sessions for Staff Success Week. Weekly messages will go out in Racer Nation information, Staff Congress social media pages and events have been added to the university calendar. We'll also have email messages that we'll share with our constituent groups as the date's near, and that will go out actually on Thursday.
Is there a way that like Racer Nation information? Yeah, that's right. I don't know, there's a lot of people I think that don't realize that if you don't go all the way to the bottom and click, what does it say, guys? Cropped message or
view clipped,
view clipped message, there's like a ton of stuff that never shows up unless you click. Does everybody know that? You have to click that view clipped message or whatever it says. And there's usually, I'm not kidding, I think about 8 or 9 additional informational pieces. One was ours about running for staff Congress. I mean, and most people never even saw it. So I don't know what we can do. I don't know if we can make sure that at the top of that email, it says, make sure you go and hit clicked messages. Where does that come out from? Tony's office. Or just don't have it clipped. Why can't we just see it forever?
I think that's a default in Gmail. I don't think
It's a
that's,
default that we can't fix that.
that's not something I know that no one's ever brought it up before, but I've never seen the option to turn that off. I think that's just.
The way it goes.
Because
That's
if you look at the email, it's quite lengthy as is.
Oh, it is.
Linked with a lot of pictures, so.
And I think it's just at the bottom, it's just, hey, you want to see more.
It sounds like you need a featured table of contents at the beginning saying.
Or something.
Yeah.
Or at least in the top of it, where everybody can see it, say, there's a lot of stuff that you won't see unless you get a few clipped messages, because I know you and I discussed about nobody was running, blah, blah, blah. You and I had that conversation, and I was like, when it came out, I was like, well, where is it? And then I clipped it and I'm like, holy crap, it's like
I was just kidding.
way further down even into the thing. And there's a lot of stuff that's important to different people that people never get to see.
That would likely be something I would bring up with Charlie.
Yeah, cause she's the one that does the
Jennifer,
newsletter.
or Jennifer.
Oh, is it? Okay, I saw Charlie.
Danny,
Oh, okay.
I'll send an email to Tony right now.
Cause that might be something
Anything
that
else we want to
they
add?
might reformat it, redo something.
And if it's like nothing you can fix, like that it's gonna be clipped, then okay, but just make sure that
Yeah.
people realize there's more to this than what.
It's just
we're
that
doing.
link in the.
Yeah.
There's a master link at the top that says view in browser. If you click that, it'll show you the whole thing on the webpage. And I
But
think that
people don't even know,
they don't see it. It's in blue, in the blue.
Yeah,
at the
but
top.
they don't even know.
Yes.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
it's
you're not
black and
seeing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see.
and how many people are opening on the phone anyway? You know, what I mean? Like, it's
No.
hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
I don't know what that is like.
I don't know, I guess it just sort of came to my mind, especially when it, our stuff.
Of course, that's what
like that
matters.
in there, you know.
Not all of them that I'm seeing do that have the view clip message. So I think it does have to do with the size.
Yeah.
And I think we did increase the max email size recently, or maybe that was just
No, that
attachments.
was-
Number of
that
That was attachments. So.
Who decided whether it's posted or clipped?
Gmail clips messages when the raw HTML size exceeds 102 kilobytes, displaying only the first portion of the email, yada, yada, yada. It's a limit that
It's basically just a top down thing, like as it loads.
Otherwise, I could send you an infinite size email.
Yeah,
It's just because there's so many pictures and the email itself is already sufficiently
Yeah, very
large.
long.
Gmail does it by default. I don't think there's a way to turn that off, but I can.
but there's-
Jeremy, one of the things also to keep in mind on this one, and the thing about it is the Gmail, they have their limits, but the reality is, there's a limit to how much scrolling anybody's going to
Yeah.
do. That's one of the things that we've had with, some of the people, the Murray State News has looked at different things online, and we've talked with people that supposedly knew more about this than what, we did, which probably would not be all that difficult to accomplish, but, the reality is that people are not going to scroll endlessly. And I think that probably that might be the best thing would be, instead of going through and trying to put the stuff in the email, that they do it out as links and, because the reality is it's not the size of the picture ultimately, if Google is kind of get off on the amount of HTML data, because it takes, just as, much or little HTML data for a small photo as it does for a large one, but I would bet, and this is part of the reason why I think we contact in every way possible, because I'm going to bet that probably if there was any way for them to measure that, probably very few people ever makes it to the bottom of the people that opens the email. I figure very few people ever makes it to the bottom of the email, even if it doesn't clip off. And there's tools that can go out and they can measure how many eyeballs these particular things, or how far, or how many people scrolls down, but I'm betting that most people never scroll down, period. And that's why we send this stuff out and then there's little to no response, because nobody's going to scroll all the way to China to try to get to the bottom of that email.
But aside,
How many people actually open the email?
Well, that's the thing also.
but aside from that, that is one of the main vehicles where information is sent to us as employees. Flag. You know what I'm saying? If that is the vehicle where we're getting information as employees of Murray State University. And nobody is opening, nobody is scrolling down, nobody is doing click to get to see all of it.
How do you increase engagement?
Flag.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, but I think the first place you start, you're gonna email Sean, we'll give some of our concerns and see what's happened and see what's going on.
If it helps, I can send out a whole staff email. And just
make it long.
Well, I could just say, if you look at this point, in 3 weeks, it will give more information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine aren't that long sometimes.
It'd be interesting to see what the analytics are.
Yeah.
And to see what the open rate and.
Public Nation email?
Realistically, on some of the ones that Western does theirs, because we have looked at that, and I think you're looking at 3%. That's why I think it was Western, because they have it where that, for example, the Murray State News was looking at doing something in this, and Western, they send the College Heights Herald's daily email out to everybody. And, you know, and of course they advertise, well, we go into 20,000 mailboxes every day. Well, yeah, you go into 20,000 mailboxes, but probably a large part of those dumps it into the trash, and then a whole lot of the people do not open it, even if it doesn't go into the trash. So I'm betting probably 3% of the people, maybe 5, may open that. You know, that's the thing about it. If most of us, if we think about it, on an average day, I'll get 2,000 emails, and most of those will never be opened.
I know we have had a lot of requests to unsubscribe from, because they don't want to get it at all.
Which lately, we're supposed to have that link on there. That's supposed to show up on above the cut.
If Western's sending one out every day, I bet they get more.
I bet
More requests to.
well, most people probably like I am, whether they go out, and I've told this to our people, they go out, they get this, it's coming by default. All they're doing is they're going to the little filter thing in Google Mail, and they're clicking, setting up a filter, and then they're saying it to where that it doesn't stop at the inbox. It goes straight to trash, and then they never see it. And I suspect, and in all honesty, and this isn't bashing the university's newsletter, because it's a nice looking newsletter, it really is, but I'm betting that if there were analytics, Tressa, that was put on that you would probably find if on a good day that 5% of the people opened it, and you might find if there was some way to measure that a whole lot of those things go straight to trash.
Did you used to have a card for this in MyGate?
Do what?
Was this ever posted in MyGate?
No, not.
Then I would suggest reach out to Brantley Travis about getting a card in the experience now. Because there is
Pop up at the top.
there is a notification option, and it will tell you if a new card has been added. At least that's another way to notify people.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That may be the way for us to go.
How we get our information through my gate, like.
A lot of us do, I mean, I
No,
know.
no. There was.
That's
Why am I getting my gate?
Right, at least log in with
Time.
Right, it's like when you have to
Good
go
point,
in
though.
my game, you have that homepage right there, you have one of the cards that, you know, one of the blocks is right
Well,
there.
like we said, there's a lot of different ways to get
Yeah.
information. That's a
That's
great
the-
idea to add into the mix, though. Yeah, now maybe that'll help some people right.
Because if they're in there in finance and, you know, putting in their time or approving time.
Well, this goes back to some of the stuff that would happen to students too. Some of it has to do
Yeah.
with communicating with people where they are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we can try to force feed people to do this or that, but there's no magic bullet. Chances are that a combination of not clipping the email and maybe putting it in MyGate and maybe doing something, you know, I mean, it's probably gonna be a combination of all those if we
Yeah.
really want it. Because we're all consuming stuff in a different way. I mean, so I think this is a good start. We'll see where we can go from there. And probably wherever that is, maybe we can make a little bit better.
My concern would be like, if you submit something to be put on there, who decides whether it's posted or it's clicked? Like first come.
It's whether or not it's at the bottom of the message. The further down, the higher the chance it is.
I think he's saying, how does that get worded?
Yeah, how do I say that I want it posted? I don't want it to. I wanna make sure it's on the email that I open.
Prime real estate.
You should charge for that.
Paid service.
Thanks. Revenue.
Like
Budget. There we go. Tell Dr. Pat.
There you go.
Up for the new revenue stream.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
One-
Ron real estate on the newsletter.
Staff
Nation information brought to you by.
You can just come to me, talk, if you need an announcement, I'd be ashamed if that announcement never made it to the email. I'm just saying, you can come talk to me.
Wow.
Well, let's go. To Smith Agribusiness cups, will that help?
Pull it out back, yeah.
All right,
I'll get you in all users.
all right, so with all that, university-wide committees, faculty and staff insurance and benefits.
Oh, that's me. Insurance and benefits committee will meet on Friday at 9:30 a.m. The topic for this week will be wellness benefits. And that will end up the orientation part of the reevaluating our benefits programs, insurance and benefits program. Final piece to that. And then one of the things that we will be doing, the members will need, of the committee will need to try to see if we can arrive at a time when we can meet to have a decide what we would like to do or what we would like to look at over the summer months for March to get together for us and to be able to present whenever we look at the insurance and benefits package in August. As far as it goes, also one of the things that will be mentioned, Trish will be talking a little more about the tuition waiver at the Insurance and Benefits Committee meeting on Friday, because one of the things on this one is that some of the things we've talked about, it would be great to also, if the faculty would like to be a part of this, that is the place where they can join in with us. As far as the tuition, some of the tuition changes that, or tuition waiver changes that might be of concern. And some of the ones I've heard about, actually I've heard more from faculty on some of these things than I have from staff, such as the benefits for retirees, et cetera. And so we're going to give them a chance to be in. More than likely, the committee, the ad hoc committee for that will be headed up by Trish or another member or another staff member that's part of the Insurance and Benefits Committee. But and I will try to send out a link for that meeting to everyone. We generally don't have any guests to look at it, but if you don't have the time to look at it in real time, you're welcome. I will also send the link around, and I think you get that after the meeting. I generally try to send the link out of the recording. Sometimes you will see that the recording has been edited. The edit is lopping off on the front end and the back end. We're not editing anything out of the meeting, but sometimes we go in and the first person in the meeting forgets to pause the recording, and so we have it quite honestly where that it's looking at somebody's nose for the first 10 minutes, or you've got things really. It's not necessarily things that are talked about that you would not that are out of line, but it's not things that you generally, somebody goes see the meeting, they're going to want to hear about somebody's dog or somebody's cat or whatever it may be for the first 10 minutes of the video. So we will sometimes trim, and then we've had a few times where that the meeting did not get cut off at the end, at the conclusion of the meeting, and so we go through and trim out the blank space at the end so that somebody is not left wondering, okay, if I watch for the next 3 hours or whatever it is, there will be something at the end to see. And so we whack the front and the back so that we actually get to the time from the moment the meeting's called to order until the time that it is adjourned.
Okay.
But join us on Friday if you want.
All right, intercollegiate athletics. I don't believe that committee meets. If they do, they don't tell me. Campus naming, no report, or judicial board,
No report.
sick leave appeals. Yes. International studies. Budget advisory committee. If we have anything.
No, we're gonna go to town hall coming up there. Right.
Yeah.
I have a meeting on the 27th.
Shared governance. Parking.
May 1st, our meeting is May 1st. Don't have anything for the agenda yet, so if anybody's got anything, any parking concerns I can bring to everyone's attention there. Otherwise, we'll talk about the classics, like, they're gonna be an increase in fees. How we're gonna get more parking, what's the status of the nursing building parking, that kind of thing. So,
I will say the new parking lot, like I've been by it all hours of the day and I've yet to see. Yeah, that new where they've been, there's all,
Spot.
yeah.
And the kids use it though, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, no,
saying kids don't use it, but
Yeah,
that was a good, I
Yeah.
think it's a well
and it's
situated.
close to
spot.
anything.
Yeah.
That's been maybe a third goal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's it.
but it's there's, when it was icy, it's weird how there's no way to get down to the sidewalk in that corner.
yeah,
That was weird. I noticed it. And then, of course, people still want to cross down there.
I really wish we would put that back, that came back to the
But
city.
there was, I know that, and maybe the next time in the winter when it's not bad weather, we can make sure facilities just goes over there and takes a look at it, because people were cutting them down, there was no sidewalk down.
Has
But, yeah, that's.
executive council heard anything back about our years of service resolution that we sent?
Oh,
No. Oh, parking.
yeah, you know, where,
Yeah.
was it like tiered or something?
Yeah.
Did we send it?
We-
For the.
The resolution was to request a review of the years of service, both the years of
Maybe we
service
should do it
required for
here.
parking or discounts for say 10 years.
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
So.
And they haven't read it, so it probably needed it.
You should get the ADA structure.
Do you think they have?
Yeah. And then there was a blurb.
They should have it, yeah.
They don't have.
I haven't seen it yet.
Resolved.
But we won't see it until it gets put into the board with us meeting.
So it's still probably, that's been always.
Yeah.
Well, that's back to there. What we're trying to do.
Wonder if it got lost. I mean, seriously, I'm just asking. You know,
The shuffle.
yeah, there was a lot of
Change.
stuff going on. Wendy doesn't. I've
It
never
said
seen
all
it.
the Florida's paper.
Yes.
Oh, it's not.
We not see it. Is it in the call? No, he's not in person.
Okay.
Oh.
I will ask all of you.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're doing budget now, so.
Yeah, so we probably need that. Yeah, that's a good point. You really said it.
Yes. We know about it.
Cool.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Is that your top 10?
Affirmative Action Committee. No one? Okay, move on to ad hoc committees, staff regent bylaw revision committee.
On the bright side, the legislative session is coming to a close, and so we once that they're done for the legislative session, we will know what the rules will be for next year's staff regent election. So we will be meeting to formulate something because once they go out of session, that changed whatever the changes were that they were going to make to that statute, either they'll be in or out, and then we'll know what the rules are going to be and what we'll have to play by next year in the staff regent election.
Okay. Do we have unfinished business?
I don't know that it's unfinished, but I was gonna ask the resolution to change the tuition waivers from 6 months to immediately. Has that been voted on? Did we?
No.
If the revision, Aubrey was gonna do the revision and then.
I didn't, that one we had already approved. Because that was the one that Dr. Patterson had approved as well.
Yeah.
Is that just waiting for the June board meeting? No?
I
think the challenge of these is that even if it goes to your board meeting, it's gonna be 2 years away. Because the budgets aren't gonna be set by
Okay.
that time, so any kind of change is gonna increase.
Well, I thought that was gonna make it in for,
Recommendation.
that was to change the tuition waivers from having to wait 6 months to being available immediately. And that was a joint resolution with us and I just said it.
No, they didn't.
So
So the, yeah,
No, they
they
didn't sign
sign
it.
it
Oh.
doesn't change who's eligible, just you're eligible earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was something that came up too, because Dr. Patterson's son wasn't able to use his waivers this meeting
Yeah.
immediately when he
Yeah.
came.
No.
Dollar, sorry.
Oh, dependent.
But it was for either.
Anything, cause it was like, you know, why should you have to wait
We
to
did
be able to take
contracts.
classes?
Yeah.
You know,
We would
We-
prorate it if they left
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
so. But
it
we,
was just in general that tuition waivers, there was like not a waiting period.
Yeah, so usually, how do you do it here? Usually where I used to work, tuition waivers, it depended on if you were employed on the first day of class. You don't
No,
know.
or
that.
it's 6 months.
It's 6 months.
You're not eligible, currently, you're not eligible
The dependents.
to employees only.
It's their, anybody.
Yeah.
No.
And that's
You
what
have to
this
wait
was.
6 months after you're hired to be able to
The
use
tuition
it.
waiver. And so this,
You started in November, you couldn't use your tuition waiver in January.
until the summer.
Okay. Yeah.
But we haven't, it hadn't gone to the board.
Okay.
And it wouldn't go to us until we get board from.
And I don't know, is that
Not even
a board
board.
policy? I don't.
Is that an HR
policy?
Personnel policy. So it would have to go to it would have to go to you and the HR, and we would have to submit a personnel.
Yeah, we would have
policy
to
change.
approve it and
to the
submit
board,
it. I haven't
and we haven't seen
so it's
something.
not on the list.
Yeah.
change, but it was just a resolution.
There is an email.
Right, yeah.
And that will also let me see if it's really a policy change, it has to go to the board or something
Mhm.
to adjust.
Yeah, because it was just a resolution to support that change.
Okay. Okay, anything else that's lurking that I don't know?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Give us a minute. We'll come up with that.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be something else.
And what, when it's about 4 months past due, let me know. Yeah, I didn't know either of those were out there.
The only other thing about as far as new business, really is more of a question. So I've seen more and more stuff about, food insecurities for students and things like that. There are some places and some institutions that are doing things, as far as for like staff meal allowances, where whether it's, we have sort of like what we've got with some other things that people want to do, like $5 a check to go into a fund or something for. I know so much of this stuff is geared towards students, but I have a feeling that there's probably some staff related food insecurities on campus as well.
There are two things, Dr. R stepped out, so there is the food bank.
Right.
And that is available to staff also.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is correct, yes.
And we are currently under the process of working through a supplement to that program. I've been talking with Renita about and Sodexo to be able to provide some meals in
Okay.
a limited quantity that would be able to be used at Winslow. So if it wasn't going to get a can of green beans and a loaf of
Right.
bread, it might be go get a hot meal at Winslow.
Okay.
And so we're working through that. We should have something like that in place by the start of the fall semester. Probably won't have it by the end of this semester, but we're working through those.
Well, if you don't mind, just as you work through that stuff, if you could just keep us posted, just to see if there's any, no pun intended, appetite for that from a staff perspective too. If we have any way of gauging maybe whether we have a need.
Yeah, so what I can comment on is the way I'm working through it with Sodexo, it would not be contractually bound to be a student only or staff only, it would be a need of the university.
Oh,
And the way
okay.
we're structuring it is that Renita would be the gatekeeper of the students of that, or I should say Renita, the food bank office would be the ones who would issue that. So we're independent of it. From our standpoint, all we do is we get notice, put some meals onto this person's account.
Okay.
And we're the same way, if there's, if we are made aware of a need, then, because we have helped out, staff before. But with the way that, if you're a staff member here in Callaway, then you have access to Needline. But that's a whole nother ball of wax. But if we know about it, if we're made aware of it, then we're able to help, we're able to do, we've been able to do that. We'll gather up some things that, that person needs. But with students, it's great to see all the new things that we're doing for students too, because they are not eligible for Needline at all. So having multiple ways to be able to.
And we have a large amount of staff
We
that don't
do,
live in Callaway.
Yep.
And we've got
And-
Tennessee and we've got
Right.
Graves and Marshall and
Yeah.
Trigg. And so I was just thinking that it would be something for us, when gas is $4 a gallon and ground beef is $9 a pound and we're still have people making $12 and $13 an hour, there's gotta be people out there that need some help. So,
What we run into is having the money to be able to do a food pantry that would be that would be able to supply that side, because we're operating off of private donations.
sure.
And so that's the struggle, because sometimes we struggle in being able to put food out on the shelves for students. So we would almost need another source of income
Well,
to be able to make that.
That's what I'm saying is if we
Yeah.
could, if we have this as a staff thing and offer the opportunity, if people want to do direct deposit for $5 a paycheck or whatever the case may be, any amount helps, and we could set up a sign up. I mean, this is all theoretical kind of stuff, but at this point in time,
To do it, yeah, we used to do like payroll deduction for United Way. we did that
Yes.
years.
well, I guess the bigger thing is, does it make sense to have an ad hoc committee to look into something like this, or should we just should we just talk about it at the next executive? I mean, okay,
What for that?
all right.
Okay, any other unfinished business? Some we've kind of drifted. Moving on to new business. Okay, the executive committee is going to request a motion. After discussion with President Patterson and Audrey and the executive committee, we are seeking to form an ad hoc committee to communicate with peer institutions to explore initiatives to better support staff at extended campus locations. Audrey will chair this committee. Members will include Mary Steely, Jerry Harris, and Hannah Durbin. This motion is, we do require a motion and majority vote for this to pass.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Jeremy, would it be possible, once we have the election, to also include, the person from Breathitt in on that?
I'm saying why not? Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, motion and second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Further to business. Hearing none, does anyone have information items for the group?
Have some flyers for Earth Day celebration. Please take one before you leave.
Just putting on trees.
Resources. We're gonna find some anyway. Hey,
And you send me about the other Earth Day celebration on the.
Great. Anything else? We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? No. Okay. Good meeting. Thank you.
That's-
Well, I'll stay right.
Well,